You buy the Pixel for the stock Android experience with high expectations from the camera and performance department and to be the first ones to try all the new Android features coming out. But does the Pixel 10 Pro XL land on those expectations? Let's find out in our detailed review. The internet exploded with the Pixel 10 Pro XL being the exact same phone as the 9 Pro XL, but that's understandable once you see this. But let's get back to the 10 Pro XL at hand. It looks and feels unmistakably Pixel, but this design is already matured, polished and has the necessary characteristics to make this a flagship. But I can verify for you that this thing will slip out of any pocket you put it in. So you might have to put on a case just for this phone. And I absolutely dig this color theme here, but the chrome edges despite the premium look remain a smudge magnet. And speaking of magnets, Pixelsnap is here, which means all your magnetic accessories like MagSafe power banks and chargers are also now Pixel compatible, making for one big hardware change. But another subtle hardware change is the brightness that has now gone up to 2200 nits for HDR and 3300 nits for peak brightness. The Pixel's youthful, bold design is complemented with the color-rich stock Android 16 on this phone, and that makes for a snappy and intuitive UI. And the Pixel widgets are also getting better with each iteration. Put all of it together and you see hardware-software unity coming together. Quality-wise too, you will find no issues with this display. It is as good a flagship screen as any. It has the required depth, sharpness and brightness to be called a flagship screen. Like Pixels of the past, you will like the cameras on this too. Up to 8K 30 FPS videos, full 50 megapixel resolution portraits and Google's retouch practically guarantee good photos most of the time. And in case you don't like the outcome, you can always choose the best shot, and Google has also improved the Add Me feature, which is now really good. But among a host of features here, camera code stands out for me. It scans the scene and gives you a possible best shot and then step-by-step method on how to capture it. And speaking of capturing, let's get to the camera system. At least on paper, it is the same camera setup as the last generation Pixel, and you get optical quality zoom at 0.5, 1x, 2x, 5x and 10x. As for the photos, they look natural, retain skin tone really well, and the camera captures good detail, so there's room to play around later as well. And as for the video, hear this. This part of the video that you are watching is shot on the Pixel, and the microphone used is also of the Pixel 10 Pro XL. And as you can see in this shot, this is how this phone balances exposure and a quick shift in the focus. Now, as you can see how the Pixel is adjusting the exposure and the focus really quickly, switching speeds are also very good, so the video quality is good. And you get up to 8K 30 FPS recording option too, but if you want the best result, 4K is the sweet spot, be it 30 or 60 FPS. Google has also added features like Magic Q that smartly reduce the number of taps, app switches and overall hassle. And then there is the Screenshot app that allows you to group and sort screenshots and search for information within them, all on device. And if you think there is no major difference between the Tensor G4 and the current G5, you're partly right. The smaller 3nm architecture makes the G5 more efficient, and third-party teardowns tell us that Google has revised the choice of cores to gain an upper hand with long-term resource-intensive tasks like shooting an 8K video or sustained gaming or AI tasks on device. But if you benchmark this and compare it with other flagships, it won't come out on top. This chip doesn't have the sheer muscle that competitor flagship chips do, but it is clever. Google makes both hardware and software, so there's good balance and ample power where you need it. AI processors, especially on-device ones, are snappy, and games like BGMI, Children of the Sky and San Andreas all run well. But here too, you won't get flagship-grade gaming experience because the GPU is simply not powerful enough. Now, there won't be any lag or crashes, but the phone would start heating up, and the heating was prominent when I started testing the device, especially during benchmarking and prolonged camera use and even gameplay at times. But once it has analyzed your workloads, the heating reduces but doesn't really go away. While some heating is okay in flagships, we expect AI features to become more resource hungry, Android games to get better over time. At a time like this, the Pixel 10 Pro XL here has a seemingly underpowered CPU and GPU combination. But moving forward, you get a solid 1.5 day battery life on mixed use. High resolution screen, high refresh rate, camera use on this phone, and this still gets through the day. And if you get 45-watt charger, this takes close to 1 hour 40 minutes to fully charge, which is really fast. Plus you now have 15-watt Pixelsnap magnetic wireless charging, which is slow, but you can dock your phone and let it charge overnight. I think the Pixel 10 Pro XL is out there to make you think about the definition of a flagship. It doesn't have the best specifications on paper or even the strongest chip by benchmarking standards, but it adapts to your usage and has clever features to make it intuitive. That, plus stock Android, 7 years of updates, and hardware features like Pixelsnap make the Pixel 10 Pro XL a truly unique flagship. And one thing to keep in mind when buying this unique flagship in India is the service network. While Google has centers in many major cities, you should still check if your city has one nearby before buying, or you'll have to travel or ship this phone to your nearby service center in case there's an issue. That said, the Pixel has the best of Android straight from Google, and if that speaks to you, definitely this is a good option for you. But if gaming or resource intensive tasks are your jam, you should explore other options. And the Gadgets 360 subscribe button is your doorway to all those other options and everything you need to know about them. So hit that before you go. My name is Wathc, you're watching Gadgets 360, and I'll see you in the next one.